Tai Su Kim liked quiet places. The huge room where he worked was very quiet. Tall shelves full of old books and data cubes lined the walls. This was the Interstellar Historical Repository, where humanity kept its most important records. Tai Su was an archivist. His job was to sort, catalog, and preserve human history. Today, he was working with pre-contact folklore, stories from before humans met aliens in 2189. Strange, he said to himself. He was looking at an ancient Norse text about Heimdall, a god who could see and hear across great distances. Next to it on his screen was the official report about the Vidari, an alien race known for their extraordinary senses. The pictures looked very similar. Tai Su pulled up more files. Greek stories about the Cyclops matched the one-eyed Morai aliens. Chinese dragons had many features of the serpentine drac species. It was not just one or two matches. He found dozens. "This can't be a coincidence," he whispered. He checked the dates. The myths were thousands of years old. First contact with aliens was only 200 years ago. How could ancient humans have described aliens so accurately? Tai Su's heart beat faster. He was finding something important. He saved his evidence to his personal device. The door slid open with a soft hiss. Director Han walked in, his face stern as always. "Working late again, Tai Su?" Director Han asked. "Yes, sir. I found something interesting in the mythology section," Tai Su said. "Look at these matches between ancient human myths and the alien species we know today." Director Han looked at the screen. His face did not change, but his eyes narrowed slightly. "Interesting pattern matching exercise," he said coldly, "but meaningless. Humans imagined many creatures. Some are bound to look like real aliens by chance." "But sir, the details are too specific," Tai Su argued. "The Vidari's golden eyes that can see through walls. Heimdall had that exact ability. The way the Dracs change color when emotional, exactly like Chinese dragons." Director Han's voice became harder. "Enough. This is not productive work. We need someone at the Europa outpost to organize their local archives. You leave tomorrow." "Europa? But that's a great opportunity." Director Han cut him off. "Pack your things." He turned and left. Tai Su sat in stunned silence. Europa was the most remote human outpost in the solar system. Nobody got sent there unless they were being pushed aside. He looked at his findings again. If he was right, it meant aliens had visited Earth thousands of years ago. It meant the official history was wrong, or worse, a lie. That night, when the repository was empty, Tai Su returned. He had 2 hours before the next security sweep. Working quickly, he downloaded everything he could find on mythology that mentioned beings from the sky or other worlds. He also found something odd: gaps in the historical record. There should have been more ancient texts about visitors from the stars, but many were listed as lost or destroyed in pre-contact conflicts. As he finished downloading, he heard footsteps. Quickly, he closed the terminal and slipped his data device into his pocket. A security guard walked by. "Still here, Mr. Kim." "Just finishing up before my transfer," Tai Su said with a forced smile. The next morning, Tai Su boarded the transport to Europa. As Earth grew smaller in the viewport, he touched the data device in his pocket. He didn't know why someone wanted these connections hidden, but he was going to find out. On Europa, far from watchful eyes, he would have time to study his findings. If he was right, the history of human-alien relations was built on a lie, and Tai Su was determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. The ship landed with a soft thud on Europa's icy surface. Tai Su stepped out and shivered. The Jupiter moon was cold, with temperatures well below freezing. Above him, the giant planet Jupiter filled half the sky. Europa outpost was small, just 5 dome buildings connected by tunnels. Only 20 people worked here. Tai Su was shown to his tiny room by a bored security officer. "Archives are in Dome 3, the officer said. "Mess hall in Dome 1. Don't go outside without a suit. He left without another word. Tai Su unpacked his few things and pulled out his data device. All his evidence was still there. The matching images of ancient gods and modern aliens. He would need to be careful who he showed this to. The next morning, Tai Su went to Dome 3. The archive room was small and dusty. No one had organized it in years. Old paper books sat next to modern data cubes. It would take months to sort through everything. As he worked, Tai Su heard the door open. A woman walked in. She was tall with short black hair and curious eyes. "You must be the new archivist," she said. "I'm Ji-Hai Park. I work with languages." "Tai Su Kim," he said, shaking her hand. "What kind of languages?" "Alien ones, mostly," Ji-Hai said. "I'm a xenolinguist. I study how different species communicate." She looked around to make sure they were alone. "And I think I know why you're really here." Tai Su froze. "What do you mean?" Ji-Hai smiled. "You found something you weren't supposed to find. Same as me. That's why they send people to Europa, to get them out of the way." Tai Su wasn't sure if he could trust her. "What did you find?" "Come with me," she said. Ji-Hai led him through the tunnels to Dome 5, the smallest building. Inside was her lab, with screens showing strange symbols. "These are pictographs found under the ice here on Europa," she explained. "The official story is that they're natural formations, but I know they're not. They're writing." Tai Su looked at the symbols. Some looked like stick figures, others like stars and circles. "Have you translated them?" he asked. "Parts," Ji-Hai said. "They tell a story about visitors from beyond the stars who came to the blue world, Earth. They came thousands of years ago." Tai Su's heart raced. "That matches what I found." He showed her his data device. Ancient human myths describe beings that match modern alien species exactly. Ji-Hai's eyes widened as she looked through his evidence. The Norse god Heimdall and the Vidari. "Yes, I see it too. But why hide this?" Tai Su asked. "Why pretend first contact was only 200 years ago?" "I think I know," Ji-Hai said. She pulled up another file on her screen. "I found this in a restricted database before they sent me here. It's a consortium document." The Galactic Consortium was the alliance of alien civilizations that Earth had joined after first contact. The document showed a meeting transcript. Alien representatives discussed maintaining historical alignment and preventing disruption to developing species. "They have a whole department called Historical Alignment," Ji-Hai explained. "Their job is to hide evidence of early contact with Earth." "But why?" Tai Su asked. "I'm not sure yet," Ji-Hai said. "But there's more evidence under the ice. The Europa outpost was built here for a reason. There's something big buried deep below." Suddenly, a warning light flashed on Ji-Hai's computer. "Someone's accessing my lab remotely," she said, typing quickly. "We need to be careful. They're watching us." Tai Su looked at the documents on his device. "We need to find out more about this historical alignment department." Ji-Hai nodded. "And we need to find out what's buried under Europa's ice. I think our answers are down there." "How do we get there?" Tai Su asked. Ji-Hai smiled. "I have a plan, but it's dangerous." Tai Su thought about Director Han and how quickly he'd been sent away. The truth was worth the risk. "I'm in," he said. "Let's find out what they're hiding." 3 days later, Tai Su and Ji-Hai were in the mess hall when their tablets beeped at the same time. Both received the same message. "Dome 4, Storage Room B, midnight. Come alone. A friend." "Could be a trap," Tai Su said quietly. Ji-Hai nodded. "But if someone here knows something, we need to take the chance." That night, they met outside Storage Room B. The corridors were empty. Most of the outpost staff were asleep. "Ready?" Ji-Hai asked, holding a small stun device. Tai Su nodded, and they opened the door. The storage room was dark except for one small light in the corner. Under it stood a man in an expensive-looking suit. He was tall with gray at his temples. Tai-Soo Kim and Ji-Hai Park, the man said. I'm Do-Yun Choi. I'm here to help you. Who are you? Tai-Soo asked. You're not station staff. No, Do-Yun said. I'm a human diplomat in the consortium. I arrived on Europa yesterday on a routine inspection. My real reason was to meet you both. Why? Ji-Hai asked, still holding her stun device. Because you've stumbled onto something big, Do-Yun said. Something a powerful group has kept hidden for thousands of years. He pulled out a small device and pressed a button. A dome of light surrounded them. Privacy field, he explained. No one can hear us now. Do-Yun pulled out a data cube. This contains sealed records from the consortium archives. I've spent years gathering this information. It's all about a department called Historical Alignment. Tai-Soo looked at Ji-Hai. This matched what they had found. What is historical alignment exactly? Tai-Soo asked. It's a consortium agency with one job, to hide the fact that aliens have visited Earth many times throughout human history, Do-Yun said. They remove evidence, change records, and discredit human mythology. But why? Ji-Hai asked. Control, Do-Yun said simply. The consortium didn't want humans to know the truth when official first contact happened 200 years ago. They wanted to guide our development in a certain way. He activated the data cube. Holographic images appeared, ancient artifacts being removed from Earth by alien ships, texts being edited, witnesses being silenced. Their agents have been on Earth for centuries, Do-Yun continued. Many human myths about gods and monsters were real encounters with different alien species. The consortium has worked hard to make these stories seem like mere imagination. That's what I found in the repository, Tai-Soo said. The connections between myths and alien species, and the pictographs under the ice here, Ji-Hai added. They're records of early contact. Do-Yun nodded. Europa was an observation post long before humans built this station. The aliens watch Earth from here. How did you find all this out? Tai-Soo asked. My position gives me access to restricted archives, Do-Yun explained. I've been suspicious for years. Small things that didn't add up in the official history. Why share this with us? Ji-Hai asked. Because I need your help, Do-Yun said. I can't expose this alone. I'm watched too closely. But you too. You've already found pieces of the puzzle independently. Together, we might have a chance to reveal the truth. What truth? Tai-Soo asked. That humanity has been part of the interstellar community for millennia, Do-Yun said. Our true history has been hidden from us, and I believe there's a reason why. Something the consortium doesn't want us to know about our past. Ji-Hai looked at the holographic images. What do we do now? We need more evidence, Do-Yun said. There's a consortium research facility on Mars. They study human cultural evolution there, or so they claim. I think it's a front for historical alignment. Mars is heavily guarded, Tai-Soo said. Yes, Do-Yun smiled. But I have diplomatic credentials, and a plan to get us all inside. It's dangerous, Ji-Hai said. Very, Do-Yun agreed. But if we succeed, we'll have irrefutable proof that human history has been manipulated. We'll know the truth about our place in the galaxy. Tai-Soo thought for a moment. Then he nodded. I'm in. Me too, Ji-Hai said. Good, Do-Yun said. We leave for Mars tomorrow. The Mars research facility was a huge glass dome on the red planet's surface. Inside were gardens, offices, and laboratories where aliens and humans worked together. At least, that's what everyone was told. Tai-Soo, Ji-Hai, and Do-Yun stepped off their ship. Do-Yun wore his official diplomat uniform with many medals. Tai-Soo and Ji-Hai wore simple assistant uniforms. Remember, Do-Yun whispered, you are my research assistants. Stay quiet and follow my lead. At the main entrance, a tall blue alien with 4 arms checked their papers. Diplomat Do-Yun Choi, the alien said. We were not told about your visit. Du Yun smiled. A surprise inspection. Direct orders from Earth Council. The alien looked unhappy, but nodded. Very well. Please stay in public areas only. Once inside, they walked through beautiful gardens with plants from many worlds. But they were not here as tourists. The real work happens underground, Du Yun said quietly. We need to find a way down. They entered the main building. Aliens of many kinds walked the halls. Some looked almost human. Others had extra limbs, strange skin, or floated instead of walking. There, Jai pointed to a door marked Authorized Personnel Only in many languages. How do we get in? Ta-Su asked. Du Yun pulled out his diplomat badge. This might work. If not, we'll need a distraction. They waited until the hallway was empty. Du Yun placed his badge on the scanner. The light stayed red. Plan B, Du Yun said. He took out a small device and placed it on a nearby wall. Fire alarm. It will go off in 30 seconds. When the alarm sounded, everyone began moving toward the exits. In the confusion, Jai used a small tool to open the panel beside the door. She connected a wire from her tablet to the panel. Hurry, Ta-Su said, watching for guards. The door slid open. They slipped inside and closed it behind them. They were in a small room with another door and a lift. Down we go, Du Yun said as they entered the lift. The lift went deep underground. When it stopped, they stepped out into a very different facility. The walls were plain metal. The lights were bright white. It looked old, much older than the building above. This is not human construction, Jai whispered. Look at the door shapes. The doors were six-sided, not rectangular like human doors. They moved carefully through the halls. There were few people here. They found a room filled with screens and computer stations. Perfect, Jai said. She sat at a station and connected her tablet. I need a few minutes. Ta-Su and Du Yun kept watch. On another screen, Ta-Su saw something interesting. A map of Earth with thousands of small dots. Look at this, he called softly. Du Yun came over. Removal sites, he said, reading the alien text. These are places where they took artifacts from Earth. There are so many, Ta-Su said. Got something, Jai called. Translation algorithms. They're used to study ancient human languages. She looked excited. And look what they found. Many old human words come from alien languages. She showed them examples on her screen. Words for sky, God, and star in many Earth languages had alien origins. This proves early contact, Du Yun said. Human languages were influenced by alien visitors. Ta-Su moved to another screen. And look at this. It showed images of artifacts being removed from Earth. Some were recognizable, ancient statues, tablets, even whole stone structures. They'd been taking evidence for centuries, he said. Suddenly, a loud alarm sounded. Red lights flashed in the hall. They've detected our access, Jai said, quickly downloading files. We need to go, Du Yun said. Now. They ran back toward the lift. Ahead, they heard voices, guards coming their way. This way, Ta-Su said, pulling them into a side passage. They found an emergency stairwell and started climbing. Behind them, they heard the heavy steps of security forces. If we can reach the main level, we can blend with the crowd, Du Yun said. As they climbed, Ta-Su thought about what they had found. The truth was bigger than he had imagined. Aliens had not just visited Earth. They had shaped human development, language, and culture. And someone had worked very hard to hide it all. Ta-Su, Jai, and Du Yun ran through the crowded main level of the Mars facility. Behind them, alarms still rang. Security forces pushed through the crowd, looking for them. This way, Du Yun said, leading them toward a side exit. They stepped outside the main dome into a smaller one. This area had shops and places to eat. Many humans and aliens walked around. They tried to blend in. We need to reach our ship, Jehai said. They'll be watching it, Taisu replied. A voice spoke from behind them. You seek truth about Earth's past. They turned quickly. A tall, thin alien stood there. Its skin was pale white with a soft glow. It had large eyes that seemed to shine from within. Its body was slender and graceful. Who are you? Du Yun asked, reaching for his stunner. I am Kang, the alien said. Its voice was musical, like soft bells. I am Eldari. And I am like you, an outcast who asks too many questions. Taisu studied the alien. It looked familiar somehow. Eldari, Jehai whispered. In Old Norse myths, the light elves lived in Alfheim, beings of light and beauty. The alien smiled. Yes, my people visited Earth long ago. Humans called us many names. Elves, light beings, angels. Why are you helping us? Taisu asked. Because I believe the truth should be known, Kang said. Come. Security forces will be here soon. I have a safe place. They followed Kang through back passages and service tunnels. Finally, they reached a small room filled with strange plants. My home, Kang said. We are safe here for now. Du Yun looked at their new ally. You know about historical alignment. Yes, Kang nodded. I was once part of it. Until I learned the whole truth. What truth? Taisu asked. Kang touched a wall. It became a screen showing stars and planets. The consortium was founded millions of years ago, Kang explained. When new intelligent species were found, they were watched until they reached space travel. Then they were welcomed into the galactic community. But Earth was different, Jehai asked. Yes, Kang said. Humans were visited early in their development. Some consortium species came to Earth thousands of years ago. Why? Taisu asked. Resources, study, curiosity, Kang said. But something unexpected happened. Humans began to worship the visitors as gods. The screen showed ancient humans bowing before beings of light. Some aliens liked this worship, Kang continued. They stayed on Earth, guided human development, and became the gods of your myths. So the Greek gods, the Norse gods, Du Yun began, were different alien species. Kang finished. The Eldari, my people, were the light elves or angels. The Cracks were your demons. The Vidari, with their all-seeing eyes, became Heimdall and other watchful gods. Why was this hidden from us? Taisu asked. Because it broke the greatest law of the consortium, Kang said. The prime directive, never interfere with developing species. After much debate, the consortium created a new rule for Earth. No contact until humans reached a specific technology level, and all evidence of early contact had to be removed. Historical alignment, Jehai said. Yes, Kang nodded. They worked for centuries to erase the truth, remove artifacts, change records, and make humans believe their gods were just stories. But why keep hiding it after official first contact? Taisu asked. Shame, Kang said simply. The early interference was wrong. It changed human development. And some consortium species did terrible things on Earth. They don't want humans to know this. Suddenly, a light flashed on Kang's wrist. Security forces are searching this section, he said. We must go. Where? Du Yun asked. The moon, Kang said. There is an ancient monitoring station there, built long before humans had fire. It contains records of everything that happened on Earth. How do we get there? Taisu asked. Our ship is being watched. Kang smiled. I have my own ship, small but fast. We can leave tonight. As they prepared to leave, Taisu looked at the images of ancient humans worshipping alien visitors. The puzzle pieces were fitting together. The truth was bigger than he had ever imagined. Kang's ship was small but fast. It looked like a silver teardrop. Inside, the walls glowed with soft light. There were no buttons or screens. Kang controlled it with his thoughts. Eldari technology is linked to our minds, he explained as they left Mars behind. That is why humans once thought we had magic. They reached the moon in just a few hours. From orbit, they could see the old human base, Tranquility Base, where humans first landed on the moon in 1969. The monitoring station is hidden beneath it, Kang said. Humans built their base on top without knowing. They landed near the famous human base. They all wore spacesuits as they walked across the moon's dusty surface. Their boots left prints in dust that had not been disturbed for centuries. This way, Kang said, leading them to a small crater behind the human base. At the bottom of the crater was a flat metal circle. Kang placed his hand on it. The circle glowed, then slid open. Steps led down into darkness. After you, Kang said. They climbed down the steps. At the bottom, lights came on automatically. They were in a large room filled with alien technology. Some looked new, some ancient. The walls were covered with symbols. This station is over 50,000 years old, Kang said. It was built to watch Earth and study humans. By your people? Jehai asked. No, Kang said. By many species working together, before the troubles began. Kang led them to a central platform. He touched a panel, and a three-dimensional star map appeared above them. Earth glowed blue in the center. 12,000 years ago, there was a great debate about Earth, Kang explained. 3 groups formed with different ideas about what to do with humans. The map changed to show 3 different colored areas surrounding Earth. The Guardians, which included my people, wanted to guide human development gently, Kang continued. The Harvesters wanted to use humans as a resource, for labor, genetic material, even as food. The Watchers wanted to leave Earth completely alone and let humans develop naturally. What happened? Tatsu asked. War, Kang said simply. A terrible war fought in space around your solar system. Thousands of ships destroyed. Weapons that could destroy planets were used. The map showed explosions around the solar system. Old battles fought long before humans could record them. Earth was nearly destroyed, Kang said. In the end, a compromise was reached. The Prime Directive was created, no interference with Earth, until humans reached a certain technology level. All evidence of the war and previous contact would be erased. So that's why they hide the truth, Du Yun said. They don't want us to know about this war fought over us. Yes, Kang nodded. And they don't want you to know about the weapons used, planet killers that could still be found if humans knew where to look. Kang moved to another console, but the full records were kept here, hidden from all but a few. The true history of Earth and its place in galactic politics. A new image appeared, a huge library of data cubes. Everything is here, Kang said. Every visit to Earth, every human taken for study, every gift of knowledge given to humans, every interference in your development. Tai Su looked at the vast amount of information. We need to take this back. People need to know. But how? Jihai asked. The consortium will stop us. Not if enough humans learn the truth at once, Du Yun said. We need to broadcast this to trusted people across the solar system. Can we do that from here? Tai Su asked. Kang looked troubled. Yes, but once we start broadcasting, they will know where we are. They will come for us. It's worth the risk, Tai Su said. Our whole history has been hidden from us. That has to end. Kang moved to a different console. This can send the data, but we must choose carefully what to send. We cannot send it all. They began selecting the most important files. Proof of alien visits, the war fought over Earth, and the consortium's efforts to hide it all. As they worked, a small red light began blinking on one of the consoles. What's that? Du Yun asked. Kang looked worried. Ships entering moon orbit. They have found us. How much time do we have? Tai Su asked, looking at the blinking red light. 10 minutes, maybe less, Kang said, working quickly at the console. I am preparing the data broadcast now. Jai connected her tablet to the station's systems. I'll set up multiple transmission channels. They might block some, but not all. Du Yun stood watch at the entrance. I'll warn you if anyone comes. They worked fast, selecting the most important files. Proof of alien visits to ancient Earth, records of humans taken for study, evidence of the Great War fought over Earth's fate, and details of the consortium's centuries-long cover-up. Almost ready, Jai said. Who do we send this to? I have a list, Du Yun said. Scientists, reporters, and officials who might believe us. People who have questioned the official history before. Taisu added names from Earth's historical community and the head archivists at all major repositories. Suddenly, they heard footsteps on the stairs. Du Yun ran back to them. Someone's coming. The door to the control room slid open. Director Han walked in, followed by 4 security guards with weapons. I'm disappointed in you all, Director Han said calmly. Especially you, Ta-Su. I gave you a chance to drop this foolish quest. Tai-Su stared at his former boss. You're part of historical alignment. I protect humanity. Director Han said, some truths are dangerous. The knowledge in this station could tear human society apart. People deserve to know their true history, Jai argued. Do they? Director Han asked. Do they need to know that aliens once used humans for food? Or that Earth was nearly destroyed in a war we had no part in? Or that some human bloodlines were created by alien experiments? He walked closer to them. The consortium hid these truths to protect humans from cultural shock, to give us time to develop without the burden of this knowledge. You've been lying to your own people, Tai-Su said. To protect them, Director Han insisted. Humans were not ready for the full truth when official first contact happened. The consortium decided to introduce the facts slowly, carefully. It's been 200 years, Du Yun said. How much longer should we wait? That's not for you to decide, Director Han said. He turned to the guards. Stop the broadcast. Destroy all copied data. Arrest them. The guards moved forward. One went to the main console and began pressing buttons. No, Kang shouted. He jumped forward, pushing the guard away. The truth must be known. A guard fired his weapon. A beam of light hit Kang in the chest. The Eldari fell back, his body glowing brighter for a moment before dimming. Run, Kang shouted to the humans. I will hold them. Tai-Su didn't want to leave him, but Ji-Hai pulled him toward a side door. He's giving us a chance. Come on. As they ran, Tai-Su looked back. Kang was glowing intensely bright now, his body becoming pure light. What's happening? Tai-Su asked. Eldari last defense, Du Yun explained as they ran. He's using his life energy as a weapon. Behind them, there was a flash of blinding light. The guards shouted in pain. They reached a small room with an emergency exit to the surface. As they put on their spacesuits, Ji-Hai checked her tablet. The broadcast started before they stopped us, she said. Not all the files, but enough. It's spreading across the system now. They climbed up to the moon's surface and ran toward Kang's ship. Behind them, more guards were emerging from the station. Will Kang's ship work without him? Tai-Su asked. I think so, Du Yun said. He showed me the basic controls. They reached the silver ship and climbed inside. Du Yun placed his hand on the control panel. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the ship hummed to life. As they lifted off from the moon, Tai-Su looked down at the ancient station. Kang had sacrificed himself so they could escape with the truth. Now they had to make sure his sacrifice wasn't wasted. The truth about humanity's past was finally spreading across the solar system. The conspiracy was beginning to unravel. 1 week later, Tai-Su stood at the window of a safe house on Ceres, the largest asteroid in the belt between Mars and Jupiter. He watched ships coming and going in the busy spaceport. The news was spreading fast. Look at this, Ji-Hai called from her computer. Another major university has confirmed our data. They analyzed the language samples, and proved ancient Sumerian contains Eldari words. Do Yun entered the room. The Earth Council has called an emergency meeting. They're demanding answers from the consortium representatives. Their broadcast from the moon had reached hundreds of trusted academics and officials across the solar system. At first, there was disbelief, then careful study, then outrage as the truth became clear. The consortium is still trying to deny it, Tai Su said, pointing to a news report. They claim our evidence is fake. But too many people have seen it now, Jai said, and others are finding more proof. She showed them reports from around Earth. Archaeologists were re-examining ancient sites with new eyes. Structures once thought to be primitive human buildings were being identified as alien outposts. Cave paintings of gods were matched to known alien species. We need to go public ourselves, Du Yun said. I've arranged a meeting with the Earth Council. They want to hear directly from us. Is it safe? Tai Su asked. Maybe not, Du Yun admitted. But we have powerful allies now. Too many people know the truth for them to silence us all. 2 days later, they stood before the Earth Council in the Great Meeting Hall in New Geneva. The room was packed with human officials and consortium representatives. Cameras broadcast the event to billions across the solar system. Tai Su felt nervous but determined. He stepped up to the speaking platform. Members of the Earth Council, he began. For thousands of years, humanity has told stories about gods, monsters, and visitors from the sky. We called these stories myths. We were taught they were just imagination. He displayed images on the large screen behind him, ancient carvings next to photos of modern alien species. But they were not imagination, Tai Su continued. They were history. Real encounters between humans and alien visitors. A tall consortium official stood up. These claims are ridiculous. There is no proof. There is proof, Jai interrupted. She showed more images, the records from the moon station, the translation algorithms from Mars, the map of artifact removal sites. The consortium has been removing evidence from Earth for centuries, she said, editing our history, making us forget our true past. The room erupted in shouting. Some consortium members denied everything. Others remained silent, looking uncomfortable. Then an elderly Eldari stood up. The room grew quiet. It is time for truth, the Eldari said. His voice was like Kang's, musical and calm. I am Elder Se, leader of the Eldari Council. We have indeed hidden much from humans. It was wrong. Kang, our brave brother who died helping these humans, was right all along. The Elder's admission changed everything. Other consortium species began to speak up, confirming parts of the story. The great deception was finally crumbling. Du Yun addressed the council last. Humanity has been part of the galactic community for millennia. We were never alone. Our myths preserved the memory of these early contacts. Now we demand the full truth and access to our complete history. The Earth Council voted immediately. The result was unanimous. A new human consortium historical truth commission would be formed. All hidden records would be shared. The truth would finally be known. As they left the council chamber, Tai Su looked up at the night sky. The stars seemed different now, not distant and unknown, but familiar. Humanity had been there before in some way. And now they would return, not as newcomers, but as an ancient part of the cosmic story. The truth had been hidden in myths all along, waiting to be remembered. 1 year later, Tai Su stood before the Human Consortium Historical Truth Commission. The large hall was filled with humans and aliens from across the galaxy. This was the final report on their year-long work. 1 year ago, we learned that human myths were not just stories, Tai Su began. They were memories of real encounters with alien visitors. Today, we share what we have learned since then. Behind him, a large screen showed images from across Earth, ancient temples, cave paintings, and stone circles that were now proven to be alien-human contact sites. We have identified over 3,000 locations on Earth where aliens interacted with ancient humans, Tai Su continued. From these sites, we have recovered technology and knowledge that had been forgotten for thousands of years. Jehai stepped forward. She wore the formal robes of the Commission's head linguist. Many human languages contain words and concepts given to us by alien visitors, she explained. The word star in 57 Earth languages comes from Eldari words. Many mathematical terms come from the Vidari. Even our ideas about medicine and healing were shaped by early contact. The audience listened with great interest. This was the most complete picture yet of humanity's true history. Du Yun spoke next, now wearing the uniform of Earth's chief ambassador to the consortium. The most important question was why this history was hidden, he said. We now know the full story of the war fought over Earth 12,000 years ago. It was not just about Earth. It was about all developing worlds and how advanced species should interact with them. The screen showed a map of the galaxy with many worlds marked. Earth was not the only world where this happened. Du Yun continued. Many developing species had their histories shaped by early contact. The Prime Directive was created to prevent such interference in the future. Tai Su took over again. When the consortium decided to hide this history, they believed they were protecting humanity from a painful truth. They feared that knowing about the war fought over us would cause panic or anger. He smiled at the audience. They were wrong. Humans are stronger than they thought. The truth has not destroyed us. It has made us stronger. In the years since the revelation, human society had not collapsed as the consortium had feared. Instead, there had been a great flowering of human knowledge and understanding. The myths and legends that had preserved memories of alien contact were now studied as historical records. Ancient knowledge that had been dismissed as superstition was being tested using modern science. Much of it was proving to be true. We have learned that our ancestors were not primitive or foolish, Tai Su said. They recorded their experiences with aliens as best they could, in stories passed down through generations. They kept the memory alive until we were ready to understand it. Elder Say of the Eldari stepped forward to join them. His light glowed softly in respect. The consortium formally apologizes for the deception, he said. We welcome humans as full members, with complete access to our historical archives. We have much to learn from each other. Tai Su looked out at the audience. Tomorrow, the first human delegation will travel to the consortium homeworlds. We go not as newcomers to the galactic community, but as returning ancient allies. After the meeting, Tai Su stood with Jehai and Du Yun on the observation deck. Below them, Earth was a beautiful blue sphere. It's still hard to believe sometimes, Jehai said. Our whole understanding of human history has changed. But the truth was there all along, Tai Su replied. Hidden in plain sight, in the myths and stories our ancestors told. Du Yun looked up at the stars. What do you think we'll find out there? Old friends, Tai Su said with a smile. And the rest of our history. Tomorrow, they would journey to the stars, continuing the human story that had begun thousands of years ago. Humanity had reclaimed its true place in the galaxy, not as newcomers, but as an ancient part of a much larger story.